So I thought we were done with these 9 p.m. puck drops after concluding the Western Canada trip, but I guess I was wrong as we had another late night puck drop in the first game back in Chicago versus New Jersey, which the Blackhawks lost in overtime. This was a game that I think New Jersey deserved to win. This was not the Blackhawks' best game. That Spencer Knight had another real impressive showing to keep the Blackhawks in it and get them to overtime to get a point out of this game, which I think you'll certainly take just based off how they played in this one. They started pretty well. Connor Bedard got the first goal of the game on a great power play sequence where Tavo and Connor were playing catch and getting Markstrom out of his crease, and Bedard was able to capitalize. He extended his point streak to 9 games with his 10th goal of the season in this one. But the common theme of today was when the Blackhawks would score, New Jersey would respond. That happened after all 3 Blackhawks goals. New Jersey ended up tying it up with a goal of their own after that. So it was a 1-0 game up until the end of the second period where Simon Nemec scored his first of the game. Late in that period with 20 seconds to go, the Blackhawks then opened the third by retaking the lead on a goal from Landon Slaggert, who was recalled because of an injury or undisclosed absence by Andre Burakovsky, who missed this game. So they recalled Slaggert, and as I'm editing this, the news just came out. Burakovsky missed with an illness, so nothing serious for him, and played him tonight. And he got on the board with a tip-in goal off a Louis Crevier shot from the point to retake the lead. The Devils took the lead. The Devils retied the game. Sorry, it's late. They retied the game later in the frame. The Blackhawks then took the lead back with a highlight reel goal from Sam Lafferty, who, with all the injuries, drew back in the lineup himself. So Slaggert and Lafferty contributed to 2 of the 3 Blackhawks goals tonight. Definitely did not expect to see that, but Lafferty got his first of the season on a highlight reel toe drag backhand finish on a one-on-one break. So real nice goal, real positive from the fourth line guys tonight. It made it 3-2 Blackhawks at that point, but then Jack Hughes facilitated his second assist. He got his second assist of the game on it. He facilitated another play setting up Simon Nemec, who scored his second of the game late in the third period, which sent the game to overtime, where Simon Nemec scored his third of the game to complete the hat trick and win it for New Jersey. With the Blackhawks trying to defend the lead for most of the game, it led to Sam Rinzel getting probably a season-low ice time, only 11 minutes and 29 seconds for Rinzel in tonight's contest. Connor Murphy saw a few extra minutes in this one, which I thought were deserved. He was playing well. He was playing physical on the penalty kill and in other situations, especially in the D zone, which was very valuable for the Blackhawks. This was a relatively physical game. Brendan Dillon on the Devils end was giving it to Bedard. He had at least 4 hits just on Bedard alone throughout the course of this game, so he was obviously targeting him a bit. He also laid an elbow/board on Tyler Bertuzzi, which actually ended up leading to the Connor Bedard power play goal, so it worked out all right for the Blackhawks. But Dillon was physical for the Devils. They had a few other physical guys, and I thought Murphy brought a nice presence tonight, one that the Blackhawks needed early on especially. Blackhawks really got outplayed in the second period. I think that's just a continuous storyline. It feels like every game the Blackhawks are getting outplayed. Their goaltenders are keeping them in it. I mean, Spencer Knight had back-to-back breakaway saves at some point in the second period on Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier. The Blackhawks they got outshot. I think shot attempts were 28-8 in the second frame. So bad period for the Blackhawks. It continues to be the bad period for the Blackhawks. They come out pretty strong and then they finish the games pretty strong relatively, but the second period continues to be really sloppy, and that it's just something they need to clean up. I don't know why necessarily it has been so bad. I think Jeff Blashill even commented on it in the past, saying like he doesn't know exactly why, or if they can clean it up, though it would be an easy fix if it was one thing that was going wrong. But it's kind of weird. I don't know why the Blackhawks continue to struggle in the second period, but that was a theme that carried into tonight's game. And I also thought the overtime was really bad. This was probably their worst overtime, and they've had a few overtime games this season. The changes were just really bad. Oliver Moore got the opening shift, and I totally felt like he had a chance, at least one chance to change, and he didn't, and it led to him getting stuck on the ice. And when the players get stuck on the ice, the other team gets possession of the puck. It leads to bad stuff for the Blackhawks. There were multiple times throughout today where they could have changed. At least in my, and look, I'm watching the game, not in the game. It's obviously different when you're in the game. Everything's so intense in overtime that you do not always have the hindsight that I have watching the game. So I understand why things get a little stressful in overtime, but I'm just saying it from the viewing perspective. Maybe in the film room, you want to address the changes, try to get better changes, because that was ultimately what burned them on the overtime winner. They had a bad change. Markstrom came out to play the puck, fed it up to Nemec, who got a break in and scored on Spencer Knight. They just didn't generate really any threatening chances. So I did not like the overtime period. I am happy the Blackhawks pushed it there. It was not their best effort tonight, but they did get a point. They were also pretty injury riddled. Andre Burakovsky, not sure why he was out, but he did not partake in morning skate and was out for tonight's game. So we'll see at practice tomorrow if he's there. Jason Dickinson, Frank Nazar, two of the big pieces down the middle for the Blackhawks remained out, so that also didn't help things. So all in all, I think to get a point, definitely take it, but still some stuff to clean up for sure. We'll look through the takeaways here that I post on Twitter at Blackhawks Focus. We actually have a pretty decent amount from tonight's game. First one says, this team badly needs a clean bill of health again, but that fourth line kind of nice. Shout out Rinkside General for that one. And yeah, the fourth line was a pleasant surprise. Did not expect goals from Slaggert or Sam Lafferty. And this one, next one here, it's mid-November, and I've had more fun watching the Blackhawks this season than like the past 7+ years. What's nice about this team is even when they're not playing their best, even when things are sloppy, they're still getting a point out of the games like they did tonight. In past years, this would be probably a 5-1 loss or something along those lines. So they still are playing better even when it's sloppy. So that's definitely a positive overall. Next one, missing Nazar, Berkey, and Dickinson really showed tonight. Looked slow and struggled to hold anything down in the ozone. More in his first OT shift was way too aggressive. Turned it over when they had full control to start the OT push. Yeah, I did actually just talk about Moore's first overtime shift. I think it's a high pressure situation. He's playing in his second or third, I think, NHL game this season, or more than third. He's probably fourth or fifth, whatever. And that's his first overtime of the season. So it's probably pretty stressful for him playing in front of a United Center crowd that was really active. So I don't blame him too much, but definitely, hopefully he can learn from it and be better in the future. He's built for overtime with his speed, so just got to clean a few things up. Next one says team defense after the first outside of a few spots throughout was abysmal. Thought the same thing. Bedard was off after the first period. I think the hits he took were making him play more timidly. We also need to fix our second periods because they've been horrible all year. Also, where was the pushback after our players got run tonight? We made it too easy for New Jersey. I agree with everything there. I don't know if Bedard was necessarily too timid, but just either way, whatever it was, his line was not very effective at 5-on-5 in this game. The Jack Hughes line for New Jersey was dominating when they were on the ice, and they were primarily matched with the Bedard or the second line, so it was kind of a blend of those. But the Hughes line dominated for New Jersey. The Bedard line did not. I still hate the Devils. The Devils have a lot of fun players, but yeah, they do have some defensemen that get under our skin, and they like to target our top guys. So I can see that. I can see why you think that. Great game. Still have a lot to work to do. Agree with that one. No Berkey, Nazar, or Dickey got a point. Good. New Jersey is much better. Their forecheck gave our young D problems. Lots of coaching opportunities. Yeah. Also, New Jersey's the best team in the Eastern Conference, so this isn't like a crazy loss. They've been dominating this year. They've been a really hot team to start the season, so this isn't like a super bad. To get a point out of this game, I think overall is a positive. Feel like we needed more offense, missing another serious threat besides Bedard tonight. Yep, ironically, I think he might be alluding to that. Andre Burakovsky was out. We missed Nazar and Burakovsky. Yep, Devils played well. They seemed good. They are definitely a very good team. And terrible overtime. the overtime period was really bad. This recording's dragged out long enough for me to throw in a little post-game quote here from Nick Foligno. He says, "Let's just call it. It wasn't our best game tonight. It was weird because we did compete, but the sharpness that we want to play with seemed missing a little bit." And I feel like that's fair. It wasn't like a super lazy effort, but they weren't sharp tonight. They were a bit sloppy. I think with all the lines being jumbled, I think that is an easy explanation for it. With the injuries, lines were had to be shuffled. They haven't had a ton of practices over the past week or so, just with all the traveling they've had to do. So there's a few factors I think that played into the Blackhawks not being too sharp tonight. Like I said, though, still got a point out of this game, and now you have 2 days off. Hopefully Burakovsky's back, potentially Nazar and Dickinson as well for Saturday's matchup versus Toronto. We'll see if I have something to talk about. I may make a video before then, but if not, I'll see you after that game.